Welcome back to the Life Writing Show. I'm your host, CJ, aka Mr. Life Writing. Dr. Erin Connolly joins me in observance of National Career Development Month. She's the founder and CEO of Next Deployment Career Transition Services. How's it going, good doctor?
I'm great. How are you doing, Chris?
Pretty good. Trying to keep it moving, high on life, you know how it goes.
Oh, I understand.
So this thing, next deployment. I've had
Mhm,
you on the show before.
mhm.
It's been a while, a year and a half, a couple of years, give or take.
Wow. Yeah.
And I know next deployment has kind of transitioned in some respect itself,
Mhm.
but for the audience who may not be aware, kind of get us up to speed with respect to what next deployment is all about.
So, Next Deployment is a career transition services. We actually started out with marketing only to our veterans, simply because I'm a veteran myself. I retired from the Air Force back in 2014. There you go, Air Force. And I realized that I didn't have the proper tools in order to transition or to go into the civilian sector comfortably. We understand that they do have those transition services that the military offers. However, it was not individualized to just me. It was almost
Mhm.
like it was cookie cut. So therefore, I did a lot of research myself. And was like, well, what is it that I wish that I could have had? I made sure that I was giving that to my clients as time went on. We were actually recruited by the Wounded Warrior Project. They found me miraculously, and and I was that. I guess that what they were looking for that was individualized or personalized to whatever they were looking for. So therefore, we were offering years ago we were offering just the career services. I mean, not the career service, the resume services. And
Okay.
that was only for private sector, and briefly we were working, I mean, for a little while we were working on federal resumes, but then we realized that there was definitely a calling for those two things. So we focused a little bit more on federal resumes, and then we noticed, like, you know what, not only veterans are the ones that are lacking in highlighting whatever their strengths are or their accomplishments, or just speaking to whatever their history is, including their education, whatever those core competencies are. So then we branched out and started helping out everyone, because we figured, well, you know what, if we can help a veteran
Right.
transition from the military into the civilian sector, we can help anybody. So we went from veterans only to everyone. And then from there, we kind of branched out to kind of like a holistic approach. It was like, well, you know what? You may need career coaching. Maybe you were in the military, or maybe you're in whatever job you're in, or maybe you were a student and you're not quite sure exactly what your fit is. So,
Right.
therefore, we offer career coaching, which includes a MAP assessment, which is a career assessment that is online. And we do work with you to try to get an understanding of what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what kind of people you like to work with, what jobs actually fit you based off of your answers. On top of that, we also have 8 different topics that you can choose from. It can go from like mock interview, salary negotiation. There's a lot of there's 8 different topics that you can choose from, and you can have
Okay.
those personalized calls with myself or one of our other coaches to discuss that. That's individual. It's based on you, whatever your needs are. So there is
Right.
no cutter, there is no video, there is no anything. We're actually having coaching calls. And from there, we also continued with the resume services. That hasn't changed. So we still have the private sector resume, and we still have the federal resumes that we do offer. In addition to that, you can also still get a mock interview if you need that practice. Also, LinkedIn makeovers. So we also offer that. And also some training in case that, you know what, you just want to practice something, or maybe you just want to get an understanding of maybe some other subject, like what is a cover letter and when would you use it? Things like that, how to strengthen your skills. So, whatever it may be, we try to offer all of those things. Oh, I forgot one more thing. And
Uh huh.
also, we have our resources in the back end. So after you get all of your professional brand to where you want to have it, then we can also put you in contact with recruiters, hiring managers. We also have a plethora of coaches in our back pocket, including one of the communities that I'm a part of, which focuses on female veterans and entrepreneurs and coaches.
Uh
So
huh.
we have a lot of resources, a lot of people that we try to network with, and it's really just like, again, a holistic approach, starting from, well, what do you want to do, actually putting it into action with your resume, cover letter, whatever it may be, and then putting you in front of somebody that can help you, or even just a community to help you out in the long run. So yeah, we've
Wow.
we've transitioned a lot over the last what, 8 years now? Is it 8 years? Yeah, 8 years. 8 years now.
Eight? What?
Has it been
8 years?
8 years?
Okay.
Yeah, and Next Deployment's been around for 8 years now.
Yeah, and well, and like you said initially, the holistic approach that you guys offer is so, I mean, vastly needed. And the
Mhm.
folks that I've spoken with off and on over the years with anything related to career advancement or development,
Mhm.
they don't know they need some of the things that you mentioned until it's D-Day, right? And by that time, it's like it's never too late. It's never too late
Agreed.
unless your interview is like that day or
Right.
later that day. I've run into that as well. But no, I when you mentioned holistic initially, I did not. I hadn't envisioned every service offering that you just laid out. That's quite impressive.
Thank you.
So that as you were speaking though,
Mhm.
another question came to mind, just kind of off the hip.
Okay.
Eh, what has your success rate or how successful have you been in this venture, especially since I mean, you mentioned 8 years. What does that kind of look like?
Success rate. So from, well, whenever we do reach out, or whenever our clients do reach back out to us, they're very happy, and it's shown because 95% of our clientele are all word of mouth, all referrals. So
Wow,
we
that's a
do,
testament in itself, right?
yes, we do very little marketing. Every now and then we may update something on LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah.
However, I mean, we don't get we don't put a lot of focus into it, only because, I mean, it's, you know what, I really don't know why. I think
No,
it's because,
I get it though. I get
yeah,
it.
yeah, word of mouth goes a lot further as far as our business, because
Wow.
we can say, hey, we do offer XYZ, but whenever you get it from someone else, especially somebody that you trust, that's within your network, and say, hey, you're looking for resume services, you're looking for whatever it may be, you're not sure what you want to do, I have
Hmm.
the perfect person for you. And 9 times out of 10, or 9.5 times out of 10, they usually contact me, and then they end up being a future client of ours, and then we just continue
Wow.
with those referrals as well. So it's been working out really great for us. We put the focus where it needs to be, and that's actually helping the person, or helping
Hmm. Hmm.
our client, and not necessarily on trying to get it out to the world, because it'll get there eventually.
It would
They'll,
get there.
they'll find us. So I'm not worried
Wow.
at all.
Nice. That's a good problem to have. I love that business model. Love it.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, people aspiring to develop their careers, right?
Mhm.
So, what are some or one of the key things that they need to focus on initially? What does that part look like?
So I would say focusing on whatever their strengths are currently, are their skills, and then also taking into consideration, is this really something that I want to continue? So you may
Hmm.
have a strength, or whether it be technical or non-technical, and it may not be something that you want to continue in, but you can use one of those other skills, or maybe you don't have that, and to further your career, or to transition into a different career, whatever it may be. But just identifying what those strengths are, if you
Uh-huh.
want to continue doing it, and if you do, then actually strengthening it. You can do this by, or through education, through training, through practicing, networking. I love networking because you can also meet with other people, and find out
Absolutely.
whatever those industry trends are. Listening to podcasts, LinkedIn, that's perfect as well. You can do LinkedIn Learning, whatever it may be.
Right.
But just finding those different ways to strengthen whatever those skills are, in order to get you to where you're trying to get to next. And then once you figure out what those skills are, what exactly that you want to do,
Uh-huh.
that's key. what you want to do, then actually putting it into your resume or putting it into your cover letter or putting into your LinkedIn profile, whatever. Mention it during an interview. Say if you are new recipient of an award or whatever it may be,
Hmm.
based off of whatever that skill is. I mean, then you can also say that. You can tell people that, and it's okay. So that's what I would say. I would say to first identify whatever skills that it is that you have, and then
Hmm.
where you need to be, and then make sure that you focus on those and strengthen those, of course, through the different avenues.
I like it. I like it. Now, Dr. Connolly, I just asked you about kind of your success rate, if you will, right? But my question from a holistic standpoint, from my vantage point, right,
Mhm.
is what do you have any success stories that you care to share in any capacity?
Oh, let's see. Actually, you know what? I do. Right now, we're working on another partnership because we do have a couple of others already,
Okay.
but we're working on another local partnership with a staffing agency so that we can be boots on the ground. A lot of our partnerships right now are remotely; they're all over.
Okay.
We would like to get into the community, at least myself, and also wherever I mean where my contractors are, and try and see if we can work from that end as well, wherever they are. So just not sitting behind a computer all day. We've kind of gone to that since COVID, but actually getting from behind the computer and going out and then meeting with people, shaking hands, rubbing elbows, things like that. So maybe not necessarily a success story, but I think that it's going to just kind of broaden things a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to it.
I love it, and I can so envision that coming to fruition in a multitude of ways. So that I want to kind of segue
Mhm.
before I absolutely close this session out
Okay.
from there. Like in the next 5 years or what have you, where do you envision next deployment? What do you envision your company doing, providing, etc.?
Oh, 5 years from now. Oh, there's so many things. But I think one of the main ones, which is actually the reason why I started this company,
Hmm.
is because of the transition assistance program that is offered through the military. I wouldn't mind partnering somehow with the military to be a part of that.
Oh,
Um,
the taps. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
the TAPS class.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that come to me after they've gone through TAPS and they've realized, you know what, I didn't receive, just like myself, I did not receive the information that I was looking for. So
Mm,
I would love to not only just give this information to our clients directly, but also meet with people or meet with the veterans at the military bases,
I love it.
and work with them from there, give them that individual experience. If not them, then maybe even hire our heroes. There's a lot of our clients that come to us from there. It is a nonprofit organization that does help out our veterans with, again, career services. But we also receive, again, a lot of clients that have previously worked with hire our heroes. And it's funny because I hear that some folks have said that I don't know who it is. I really wish that they would give me names. That
Okay.
people from hire our heroes have told them, "Hey, reach out to next deployment to update your resume." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Who is this?" But I,
Really?
whoever it is, and if you're reading, I mean, if you're listening to this, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
But
What?
I would love to partner with them as well.
Dr. Connolly, thanks again for joining me. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. You divulge so much information. She's so smart and witty, and
Whatever.
a couple other things as well. But I'll leave that off the table.
Thank you, Chris.
But no, seriously, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
And also, thank you for having me today.
And to the audience, thanks for your continued support. Remember, this is where inspirational information is shared in hopes to help you write the life you desire. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and share. Take
Hmm.
care.
Bye bye.